So if you're catching this on replay, I just want to let you know I'm going to be quiet for a few moments until people pop on. So don't freak out. Thank you for watching on replay. Thanks. Hey guys. So now that some of you guys are starting to pop on, I'm going to go on ahead and kind of start talking to you guys, letting you guys kind of know what we're going to be doing tonight and all of that kind of stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure today's Wednesday. This week has absolutely flown by this week. At least in my opinion, it has. But anyways, I'm super excited to be here. I'm super excited to be able to share with you all my seated cardio workout routine tonight. But if you all don't know who I am, my name is Nataushia. A lot of people honestly know me as the seated cardio queen. But I am 33 years old. I am from Southern Kentucky. I started my weight loss journey at weighing over 500 pounds. I've lost over 280 pounds at this point in my weight loss journey. Now, after I had lost around 200 pounds, I ended up injuring my left ankle. So I knew at that time, like, I needed to have cardio. I needed to have some form of exercise, but I knew running was no longer an option because my ankle was jacked up, right? So I started to do research. I started to do research on TikTok. And I was over 500 pounds. I lost over 280 pounds. Being a former athlete, basketball, football, I did powder puff, but I've always been really tall too. So there was always these bets like, oh, we can tackle Nataushia, whatever, we can take her down. Because I was 5'10.5" in the 6th grade and almost 250 pounds. But when I was in high school, they had those bets out like, oh, we can tackle her, whatever, blase this, blase that. Well, that's not how I work. I'm a very competitive individual. But anyways, I played football too. But I also did volleyball and things of that nature. So I took all of my athletic knowledge and I created the high intensity interval training type sessions because I remember doing circuits in basketball, track. Even as a thrower, we were having to run. And I swore to my track coach, I was like, I don't want to run. Like, if I get on the track team, I don't want to run. But anyways, I am a former athlete and I've taken all of the knowledge that I have and I've created these routines. So with tonight, it's Challenge Wednesday. So what that means, what is so different about my Challenge Wednesday routines compared to my Modified Monday is on Mondays, I do all of the easiest versions of the exercises that I have available because I understand coming from over 500 pounds, it's really difficult sometimes for us to exercise when we have excess weight or whatever your situation may be. So I show the easiest versions that I have. And then Wednesday, what it is we have 10 exercises. Generally, we exercise 14 exercises for 30 seconds with a 10-second breather in between each one. We have 3 rounds. Now, on our Challenge Wednesdays, we have the 10 exercises, and we exercise for 1 minute with a 20-second breather. Now, I want to reiterate that what I do is I just sit in my kitchen chair that I've been using since I started to do seated cardio. Because what honestly kind of pushed me, I want to say, like gave me a reason to continue to do my seated cardio exercise routines isn't just because I know that there's individuals who have weight issues like I used to or injuries, but I also was contacted by so many individuals that have mobility issues or they have chronic illnesses and because it allows other individuals access to hope, access to free routines, because all of my routines are completely free. All you have to do is literally sign on when I'm live, and then you'll be able to tune in and work out with me. But we do start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm in Kentucky, so it is currently 6:58 here in Kentucky where I'm located. So I don't know in correlation what time zone that is for you, but that's where it is here. But once I do get started, I want to let you guys know, once I hit my chair, I won't be coming up here to talk and have conversation because that will take away from the actual routine itself. Because with me, time and everything, I have to stay on track. You absolutely can follow me. I do stream live. This is my TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. So in the event you ever miss one of my live streams, I record on my Facebook account. Thank you so much, TikTok. Thank you, Poodles. It's been a second since I seen you, sweetheart. And you're going to probably see my cat Juniper coming in and out periodically, so don't freak out, okay? But if you ever miss a live stream, they're always recorded on my YouTube and on my Facebook account. All right. Good to have you back, Penny Thomas. Aw, Tara, I am so glad that you are here. But tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a seated jog. We're then going to go into a seated jump rope. Then we're going to have one of our new ones. If you were with us on Monday, we had a new one that I pulled into the play. We're going to be doing our penguins. That's what I've decided to call it. There's no leg engagement on that particular exercise. Then we're going to move into tapsies. We're going to have in-ups, under leg jacks, knee slicers, strokers, reach and step, and then a cross ankle tap, okay? Hey, Robin, welcome back, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. Hello, please give me inspiration. I need it, baby. Well, we're about to get active in a seat. All right. So I'm going to go on ahead and bring YouTube down, and we're going to go on ahead and get the party started. But if you are just popping on, I used to do it too. But I've been doing it so long, I'm Gucci now. But what we're also going to do is we're going to focus on trying to keep our core tight. And a lot of people are like, how do you do that? And what you do is essentially, if you have ever sucked your stomach in to take a selfie to look skinny, that's literally what keeping your core tight is. I'm probably going to scare you, baby. Yep, there we go. So that's literally what we're going to do. But in the event, we're going to exercise for a solid minute. I don't care if you do 3, 30, or 60 reps of the exercise itself. But I don't want you to stop, okay? Like, if you cannot finish the exercise, like, for instance, seated jog is our first one. This is seated jog. This is our modified seated jog, okay? But let's say that for a whole minute, you can't jog for a whole minute, and I'm going to keep it real. There's times that you can't do that when you're first starting out, and I'm not being mean. I'm being real because I've been there. I was over 500 pounds. But what I do know is you can do seated quick feet. You can do this option right here. But maybe moving your legs is a challenge, right? So if that's your situation, what I would suggest, do a seated jack. Do something like this so that you get your heart rate up and elevated. And in the event there is an exercise that comes up that is involving your legs and you can't utilize those in that moment, that's okay. Just simply do a seated jack, or you can do battle ropes, something to just get your heart rate up and elevated, because there are going to be a few exercises that are strictly our legs only. Mondays, we have no leg engagement, but you can still partake in today's using one of the examples I just showed you. But we do have seated jog for 1 minute starting now. But you can go at your own pace. You don't have to keep up with me, but I will let you know in seated cardio, the quicker you try to move, the more that it's going to increase your heart rate, which in turn is going to burn more calories. Now, let's say doing my advanced seated jog is too challenging for you, right? You're going to pump it up. Notice how my feet are still on the floor? I'm tippy-toeing, okay? You're going to go at your own pace and do what you can do based on your skill level, and that's okay. But we have jump rope up next. Good job. Take your breather. So up next is going to be seated jump rope, which is this. But if you can't bring your legs off the floor, this is what I'm going to say to do. You're going to bounce on your tippy toes. But let's say you can't even bounce your tippy toes. That's okay. What you can still do is make the motion. Keep your core tight. And again, that's like sucking your stomach in to take a selfie and look skinny. Those are your 3 options. We're going to knock it out now for 1 minute. Hang on. 1 minute, let's go. So we have option 1. And again, if this is too advanced for you, that's okay. You can go into bounce. Bounce on your tippy toes. But again, if you can't bounce your tippy toes, you can still have that motion, because what it's doing is it's working your core. If you're keeping that core tight, I can literally feel it still working my core right now. But you do what you can do, okay? But up next is going to be our penguins. Perfect. Good work. TikTok, I see y'all coming in. Thank you. Take your breather. So to do our penguins, what you're going to do is you're going to have your arms out on this side. Penguin in, penguin out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Okay? Literally all we're going to do. Now your arms are going to burn, so pace yourself. Listen to your body and don't overdo it, okay? They going to burn. But I know you're stronger than what you think you are, babe. But we got 1 minute. Penguins, let's go. But what this does is it works your chest, it works your back, it works your shoulders, it works your arms. And if you're keeping your core tight periodically, it's going to work your abdominal region as well. But you're also accelerating your heart rate and burning calories. You can do seated cardio, and seated cardio is an actual workout. It's just modified and more simplified because some people have mobility issues. Some people I used to be over 500 pounds, so some people, this is going to help them get to where they need to go. Baby steps are everything in exercise, and every little bit of movement really does matter. Oh, the burn feels so good. Not really, but really. Take your breather. Woo, child. My arms might fall off before we get to round 3. But up next, we're going to go down, out, up, in, 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 down, out, up, in. All right? Your own pace, because you're going to see me and there's like, no way I can do that. Yes, way you can at your own pace, baby. We have 1 minute of tap-sees. Starting now, remember, down, out, up, in, down, out, up, in. I'm about to take mine up a notch. You don't have to keep up with me, but this is our tap-sees, okay? But you go at your own pace. And you might be like, oh my gosh, you're going so fast. Baby, I've been doing seated cardio for years. If I don't go this rate, it's basically like I'm walking a snail. I have to get my heart rate up. The more you do this, the quicker and stronger and better you're going to get. I promise. Trust me, I was not this coordinated in the beginning. Still struggle sometimes. But up next is going to be our outs and ups. That exercise in particular is all legs. Take your breather. You're going to start in the center. You're going to go out, in, up, down. Out, in, up, down. Now, in the event you can't engage your legs, that's okay. Do a seated jack. Do battle ropes, or you can do a cross knee tap for right now, just so that you can get cardio in with it, okay? But we have 1 minute of out and ups starting now. So remember, out, in, up, down, out, in, up, down. Repeat that to yourself until you get that exercise down, and then go for it. Okay, you got it. And you may sometimes wonder, Nataushia, why do you keep your arms out in front of you when you exercise? So the reason for that is because it allows me to help also engage my abdominal region. So I'm literally getting a workout in the process. I can feel my arms burning, all of that kind of stuff. Every little thing that we do matters. Take your breather. Up next is going to be our under leg jacks, but maybe going under your legs is a challenge, right? It used to be for me when I was a lot bigger. So if that is the situation, you can just go right here. You're going to keep your core tight so you can still reap the benefit, okay? And try to not lose your breath. But anyway, we have 1 minute under leg jacks. Let's get it. So welcome to Challenge Wednesday with the Seated Cardio Queen. My name is Nataushia. I'm 33 years old and I am from Southern Kentucky. At my heaviest, I used to weigh over 500 pounds. And now I come onto my TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube free of charge Monday through Thursday, sharing my weight loss story and my free seated cardio workout routines. Because I'm just trying to help as many people as I possibly can. Because I know the struggle is real. I know that it's hard. But I'll also know it is possible. Okay? Awesome. There we go. Good work. Almost there. Take your breather. So our next exercise is going to be our knee slicer, which looks like this. Knee slice or knee slam. But if going that low is a challenge, you can do this right here. And again, at your own pace. All right? Whew. Anybody else sweating on Challenge Wednesday? Just a few exercises in? Just me? Okay, just kidding. I know somebody else is sweating. We all probably sweating at this point, right? But anyways, we have 1 minute of knee slicer starting now. But when I was heavier, 300 pounds, all the way up to over 500 pounds, raising my knee was challenging. So that's why I love to show you guys the fact that, guess what? Yes, your legs might be difficult to raise. Yes, you might have a belly in the way. Whatever your situation. But that's no excuse, because guess what? Look at these modifications. Look at what you can do, not what you can't do. You got it. You can do this. We can do it. All of us. That's the beauty in it. Good job. Take your breather. Now, up next is going to be our strokers. Whew. Y'all staying hydrated? Hang on just a second. I'll show you strokers. Strokers look like this. No legs, all right? Perfect work tonight, you all, but it is time for us to go stroking. We got 1 minute. Let's go. Perfect. But a lot of people also ask me how I've lost over 280 pounds. So while we're working out tonight, I'll go on ahead and share that. Most of the time, I do share how I've lost my weight, what I've done, and my story. So I'll go on ahead and do that. But anyways, I started my weight loss journey really in my late 20s, closer to 30. I have PCOS. I'm insulin resistant. I was borderline diabetic at one point. So what I did is I was going to the doctor. I was going to get checked because I knew one day I wanted to be a mom, right? So having PCOS, I wasn't regular at all. Like, it was nothing for me to go years without one. So take your breather. Up next is going to be our reach and step or reach. All right. But they were running all of these tests because I was having a whole lot of issues. So it came back that they had discovered precancerous cells in my uterus. And they literally, like, my doctor looked at me and she's like, Nataushia, if you don't lose weight, you're going to end up with cancer. We're going to go on ahead and knock out our reach and step. We have 1 minute of reach and step starting now. But she was like, Nataushia, if you don't lose weight, you're going to end up with cancer. Like, I wanted to one day become a mom. So my whole goal was not to obviously end up in that situation. So I started to eat low carb, I started to eat high protein, and I started to watch my sugar intake. I was drinking at least 1 to 2 gallons of water, if not more, a day. I actually bought one of those really cool, huge, giant gallon water jugs with all the cute little writing on it. And that was helping me get my water intake in, but I was also increasing my exercise and stuff like that. Well, then COVID hit, and then the gym shut down. I kind of gained some weight a little bit, but then at the same time, Kentucky brought out COVID Medicaid insurance because after cancer was kind of brought into play, my doctors were fighting for me to get the gastric sleeve surgery. Take your breather. Up next is going to be our cross ankle tap. If you can't do that, you have cross shin or cross knee. Okay? But anyways, my insurance at the time, before COVID hit, was saying that, I was denied like 7 times because they said that the whole procedure was cosmetic and it wasn't medically necessary. Let's do our cross ankle taps. We've got 1 minute. Let's go. But they kept saying that it wasn't medically necessary. So once COVID hit, Kentucky dropped a Medicaid specifically for COVID. And I applied late April. I was approved. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to give bariatric surgery another shot. So I did. And at this point in time, like, I'd already been on Adipex, phentermine, and I'd already lost weight, and they were able to track that. So I went and I was approved for bariatrics. And I went for my first consultation May of 2021. And June 30th of 2021, after a lot of hassle and a lot of issues, I had my gastric sleeve surgery. But I followed my surgeon's guidelines and did not eat for 5 weeks. And then I've taken a breather, and then I've continued to maintain that lifestyle. I've continued to track what I eat. I know what works for my body. I've continued to exercise. I continue to get all of my water goals. But when I relax and when I don't stay strict and when I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I can easily gain 30 to 60 pounds within 2 months. Just being real, because I cannot eat carbs and sugars like a normal person can. So I have to stay on top of it. We have jog for 1 minute starting now. And a lot of people look at surgery as a cure-all. Like, oh my gosh, you got weight loss surgery. You took the easy way out. Like, you're always going to be skinny. No, baby. It's a tool. Just like weight loss supplements. I take weight loss supplements. I take things that are tools to help strengthen me and my body to make sure that my home is as strong as it needs to be. Because adding in all of those extra things helps ensure that I have a longer life expectancy. So I just want to share that. Like, that's kind of how I ended up here, but I ended up not always doing seated cardio. I used to go to the gym and do kettlebell amped. I was doing ripped. I was doing rumble. I was doing cardio hip hop. I was doing cardio drumming. You name it, I was doing it. Whew. All right, y'all, take your breather. And next is jump rope. But what happened, if you missed the beginning of my live, is I'd lost around 200 pounds. Like, I had insane energy. Like, I literally was running. I wanted to run. So I ended up injuring my left ankle, and that's when I ended up finding and creating seated cardio workout routines. But it's time for us to jump rope. We got 1 minute. Let's go. Which I don't want to take all of the credit for seated cardio. But what I will say is I have created free high-intensity interval training sessions based on the exercises I found on Google, TikTok, YouTube. But I'm also a former athlete. Like, I had a collegiate scholarship to be a track and field athlete. I was a thrower. But I took all of my knowledge that I had and created these routines because I timed everything. So we exercise for 1 minute, have a 20-second breather. We have 3 rounds up to 10 exercises on Wednesdays. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we have 14 exercises, 3 rounds for 30 seconds with a 10-second breather. But if doing this exercise is too advanced, you can always bounce on your tippy toes, but take your breather. Whew. Up next is our penguins. I don't know about y'all, but Challenge Wednesday is challenging. Are y'all being challenged tonight? I hope y'all are being challenged tonight. But I do Challenge Wednesday every Wednesday. I always have a modified Monday. But let's do our penguins. We've got 1 minute. But I will always continue to do what it is that I do as long as I'm able. So on Mondays, again, that's fully modified. I show my easiest exercises because, again, I understand coming from over 500 pounds, exercise really is difficult sometimes for us starting out. So I don't want you to doubt yourself. I don't want you to be like, I don't know where to start. Baby, I don't care if you're starting, if you are going through an injury, or if you're just looking for something different. This is a perfect opportunity to sweat in a chair. And I never knew that this would be a possibility until I injured my own ankle. And now I just continue to do it because I know I'm helping change other people's lives. And you cannot top that. Not in my opinion, at least. Take your breather, dang it. But we have tapsies next. Okay. We doing good? I hope so. But I will slowly show you what tapsies look like in just a second. And then we're going to knock it out the ballpark. All right, loves. We have 1 minute of tapsies. Remember, that is down, out, up, in. Down, out, up, in. Okay? You're going to go your own pace. You can do it. Are you ready? Let's go. You don't have to keep up with me, but I want you to really try. I know that you have more in you than what you're giving yourself credit for right now. I know you might be scared. I know you might feel like, oh, I can't make it a whole minute. That's the point. Challenge yourself and then do something different. If you can't make it the full minute, when I say take that breather, you can stand up and walk in place if you have to. It's okay. Thank you so much for the love, TikTok. I see you. Take your breather. Up next, out and ups. Now remember, again, if you can't engage your legs, do a seated jack, do battle ropes, do something to just get your heart rate up and elevated, okay? You can even do cross knee taps without moving your legs and stuff. Oh, goodness. But we have out and ups for 1 minute starting now. So remember, out, in, up, down, out, in, up, down. But I still eat low carb, high protein, low sugar, simply because of my polycystic ovarian syndrome diagnosis. No matter what, I can't get out of that. Like, I can never just be like, polycystic ovarian syndrome, body. Like, I can't do that. Wish I could. It would make my life so much simpler. I'm sure all of us wish that we could do that to something about our own selves. But I eat around 60 to 100 grams of protein every day when I'm strict. I hit around 50 net carbohydrates and around 28 grams of sugar a day. Like, that's what I try to hit or stay around or stay under, if at all possible. Take your breather. Alexa, play Spotify. I don't know why she showed up. I did just make a face at my ALEXA because she be doing that all the time. Has a mind of her own, just like I do. But we have underleg jacks next. We have 1 minute. Let's get it. Now, I do still drink a lot of water as well. Obviously, I do exercise. I just want to say, like, weight loss isn't let me wish I can lose this. Golly, if I could have just wished my weight away, baby, I would have been small my whole life. But it doesn't work that way. I had to stop wishing and start doing. I want you to understand that it's going to take work. It's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take showing up even when you don't want to show up. It's going to take having your meals prepped just in the event you go to work and they have a big surprise party or meal and you can't eat all the things that they have because it's not healthy and it doesn't fit your lifestyle. Because if you can't eat carbs and all they have is freaking pasta, baby, what you going to do? Suck the syrup off of this little sketties? Take a breather. Well, the sauce, not syrup. But I had to be willing, especially the first year of my weight loss journey. I packed protein shakes. I packed salads. I packed meat. I packed nuts. I packed cheese. I packed eggs. Anything that I could pack that was going to be a healthy alternative. I always had it on deck. I always had it in my desk. I always had it in my lunchbox. I always had something I could resort to so I wouldn't jack up my lifestyle because I knew what I wanted. And here we are. But it is currently time for our knee slicers. We have 1 minute starting now. But it wasn't easy. There were a lot of times I would go to family functions. I would go to work gatherings. And they would have all of these awesome things. And then you're going to have to expect people to say things to you. Oh, well, 1 bite's not going to hurt. Oh, that's all you're going to eat. I promise when you start making lifestyle changes and it's different from your norm, people are going to notice. Some people are going to be envious of your drive. Some people are going to be envious of the power that you have within yourself because they don't have it yet. But in reality, they really do, but they're just not disciplined and driven enough like you are to sit and actually fix the issue. Because the issue within America and within most of the world right now, would you believe, take your breather, that it is the food that we put in our body and how much that we consume? Like, portion control is super important. And I'm going to explain that in just a second once we get into our strokers. And I'm going to let you all know my hack. I actually share this a lot. I can't remember sharing it recently, but we're going to do our strokers for 1 minute. Let's go. But I say portion control is super important. So normally I used off of the grown-up adult glass plates, like the really cool, pretty ones. Now I eat off of toddler plates. I eat off of toddler utensils and things of that nature, because what it does is when we eat off of smaller portion plates and we fill our food up on those surfaces, it looks like it's a mental trick. It makes us think that we're really eating more, when in reality, we're eating exactly the amount that we need. Because if you put that plate up against your body, like if you actually put a plate up against your belly and you compare the size to the food that you're eating, it's insane. Absolutely insane. So that's like one of my little tricks that I've done. And you don't have to be a bariatric patient. Take a breather. You do not have to be a bariatric patient to actually do that. I've had so many people since I've shared that particular hack that have reached out to me and been like, Nataushia, oh my gosh, like I'm losing weight doing what you suggested, like, and I've never had weight loss surgery. Like I'm throwing out this stuff because I know for a fact that it works. And why should I be a person to contain information that I know can change someone else's life? But it is time for a reach and step. We have 1 minute starting now. Because I can remember being at the start of my weight loss journey. And I had this friend. She had been through the whole process too. And I remember I had a question and I reached out to her. And I was like, I thought she was like my best friend, okay? So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, blah, 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 question. She literally hit me back with, ask your nutritionist, knowing she knew the answer. So I really made a pact within myself. Like if anybody ever asked me a question and I knew the answer, I'm not going to direct them elsewhere unless I truly have no idea. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, that's why I do what I do on my platforms. Because I know what it's like to have someone that you think is a friend not want to have anything to do with you. Take your breather. Up next is our cross ankle tap. But I will always share any knowledge that I have simply because I know I've changed my own life from learning different things. So if what I've learned can help change someone else's life and make someone else's life better, it would make me a really crappy person to keep all of that knowledge within myself to not change anyone else's life. But we're going into our cross ankle tap. We have 1 minute of cross ankle tap. Let's go. But remember, if going to your ankle is a challenge, go to your shin, or go to your knee, or go to your knee. You pick. Because I promise every single thing that you're doing right now, as long as you keep doing it, is going to pay off big time. Guys, it's taken me years to lose over 280 pounds since 2021. But I would do it all over again. There's certain aspects I would do a little different. But at the end of the day, I love to be able to be here and be with y'all and let y'all know it is possible and you can do it. Take your breather. We're moving into our third and final round. All right, loves. So with this being our third and final round, I'm just asking you guys, give me your best effort. Challenge yourself if you haven't already, all right? But we have 1 minute. Seated jog. Let's go. But if you are just popping on, my name is Nataushia. I'm 33 years old, and I'm from Southern Kentucky. I used to weigh over 500 pounds, but I've lost over 280, and I'm now known as the seated cardio queen. And I'm simply here to try and help change the world one person at a time and let people see weight loss is possible, even sitting in a kitchen chair. Or maybe you're in a wheelchair. Whatever your situation, you can still get it in. Now, at the beginning of my routine, I always try to show different modifications in the event you can't engage your legs. But every Monday is a no leg exercise routine. It's all upper body and core. Jump rope is next. Take a breather. Happy Challenge Wednesday, y'all. Because I know if y'all are anything like me, I am feeling today right now. But I needed this. And I hope that you know that you're freaking amazing. And we've got this. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know how your day's been. But it's time to jump rope. Let's go. But I know for a fact you're going to get through this. And you might feel like, I can't get through this. This is the biggest mess that I've ever been in. But I promise you felt like you were in one of the biggest messes ever years ago, maybe even 6 months ago. And you got out of that mess, didn't you? You can do this. You're so strong. You are resilient. And I promise good things are coming, but you got to keep showing up. The moment that you stop is the moment that's when everything falls. That's when you lose because you're not fighting anymore. You have to keep fighting. I promise you can do it. And if you feel like you don't have a support system or you don't have people to lean on, baby, you fell on the right platform. This is one of the most encouraging platforms. My TikTok, my Facebook, Take a Breather, and my YouTube. When I tell y'all the love that y'all have for one another is absolutely inspiring, I see it. I see all your welcome messages. I see y'all interacting and praying for one another and uplifting each other. You have a support system. Maybe you only have 4 hours a week, and that's Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. with us. But that's more than what you have if you don't have nothing at all. I promise it's worth showing up. Even if you just listen and interact and talk back and forth with one another. You got something, but it is time for our penguins. We have 1 minute of penguins. Let's go. Now, I'm not a perfect person, nor will I ever say that I am. I try my best to treat everyone how I want to be treated because I know what it's like to be hurt. I know what it's like to be rejected. I know what it's like to be made fun of. I know what it's like to feel like an outcast. I know what it's like to go through all of the things. So one thing that I refuse to do is try and treat people how I know I don't want to be treated. Because it hurts. It sucks. It's unfair. It's uncalled for. It's undeserving. So I will always respect any person and every person, no matter my circumstances. Now, I got an attitude. Trust and believe I do get angry sometimes. But at the end of the day, I like to be nice. I like to be kind, and I like to see other people happy because that makes me happy. Take a breather. Even if I'm having a bad day, now there are days I don't feel like being chipper old me, but most of the time, me trying to be positive, even on days when I want to just cry and run away and hide, it's me being positive and like faking in a sense that positivity, like believing I'm positive or whatever. That's when I start to believe, okay, yes, I got this. And I'll start to feel better because the more you practice positive stuff, the more positive it's going to occur, if that makes sense. I know you know what I'm trying to say. But we're moving into our tapsies. We have 1 minute of tapsies starting now. So down, out, up, in. Down, out, up, in. You got it? Take it up a notch if you want to. believe in you. I really, really do. But I'll never come on here and be like, hey, I got it all together. Everything's perfect. Woohoo. There's days that it is, but there's days that it ain't. Just like there's days that it is for you, and then there's days that there ain't for you. We're all human. We all go through things. But what I do know is we can all also grow through things together. That's the beauty in family. That's the beauty in true friendship. That's the beauty in having people in your corner that actually want to uplift, inspire, empower, and be there for you. And that's what this platform is. The TikTok, the Facebook, and the YouTube. Take your breather. Like, I literally, if y'all would have asked me when I started to actually share my journey, if I would ever be where I'm at right now, I would have probably fainted, to be totally honest. Like, I am honestly humbled to be here in front of the world, sharing what I do and my story. That's all I'm going to say right now, because I'm going to get emotional. But we got out and ups for 1 minute. Starting now, okay? Out, in, up, down. All right? Let's go. You got it. Keep going. You got it. Ooh. Have underleg jacks next. Take your breather. Oh my. Oh my. So if you're able to do that, your legs is going to burn. Yeah. Heads up. They're going to burn. And that's another reason I don't think I ever want to go to hell, y'all. If my muscles burn like this, or if sunburn feels the way that it does. Sorry, I just went off on another tangent. But anyway, it is underleg jack time. We have 1 minute of underleg jacks starting now. All right. Now remember, if going under your legs is a challenge, you can always boom, boom. Okay. Perfect. There we go. Good job. But if you are just tuning in, I do stream live free of charge Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I'm in Southern Kentucky, almost to Tennessee, so I don't know exactly in correlation what your time zone is. But what you can do is go to google.com and just type in what is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to whatever time zone you're in. Okay? And you can figure that out. And you just tune in whenever I'm live on TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube, whichever platform you want, and just work out. No biggie. Go at your own pace. Take your breather. And you don't have to keep up with me. I will repeat that 1,000,000 times over, like over and over, because I see comments. Come next to our knee slicer. But I see comments after I do some of my lives sometimes, and they're like, how do I do that? I can't go that fast. I don't want you to go that fast. That's why I tell you all the time, like, just give me your best effort, baby. We're going to do our knee slicer. We got 1 minute. Let's go. Because literally, I know how hard it is. I started at over 500 pounds. Obviously, I'm not over 500 pounds anymore. But I know exercise is not easy, especially when we're heavier, especially when we don't know what to do or how to do it. So as long as you're giving me your best effort, that's all that I want. I will never tell you that your best is not your best, is because it's just, that's dumb. Because I will never forget having coaches literally tell me, oh, well, you're not doing that exercise correctly. Buddy, I have a belly the size of a freaking walrus sitting on top of me because I'm so fat. I can't do a regular crunch. No, sir. But I'm sitting here sweating. I feel my muscles burning in my belly. So what I'm trying to say is, if a person has never been overweight, they don't take a breather. If a person has never been overweight and actually exercised overweight, they're not going to know what it feels like to feel like they have a walrus sitting on top of their belly. I might be over-exaggerating, but I literally will never forget trying to do crunches and not being able to come up as high as other people and get my elbows to my knees. I remember doing that, and they're like, you're not doing it right. Because I can't. I'm too fat right now. Give me some time. Let me lose this belly, and I got you, boo-boo. But it is strokers. We have 1 minute of strokers starting now. So that's why I will never discredit your effort, because I know what it's like to give my best, to give my full effort, and be told that it's not good enough. When in reality is, if you are trying your hardest within the circumstance that you're in and you're giving it your all, baby, keep doing it, because I promise it's going to pay off. Because get this, at the start of my weight loss journey, I couldn't do burpees. I couldn't do mountain climbers. I couldn't do push-ups, none of that stuff. But do you know what I wouldn't do? I didn't accept that as my final answer. I started to do research, and then I found you could do standing mountain climbers, leaning on a wall. You can do standing push-ups, standing, like everything, standing burpees. You name it, I can do it. Standing, because there's no excuses. Take your breather. Because I want people to know that, yes, there are advanced exercises. There are advanced movements that you can lose weight with. You can go to the gym, run on the treadmill, do all that stuff. But if you're like me and you were over 500 pounds when you were starting out, the reality of you running on a treadmill is about 2 seconds. Unless you're a super fit person, like I could run for a little bit because I've always been an athlete. But the reality is not everybody has access to that. But at least now I know within myself, someone can find me. I'm not perfect. I'm not a personal trainer, but I'm someone that knows the fight. And I'm sitting here fighting with you all because I want you to have non-scale victories. But we're moving into our reach and step. We have 1 minute reach and step starting now, because I want you to have your non-scale victories. I want you to be able to take a bubble bath for the first time. I want you to be able to go into the public areas and not fear sitting down or having to ask for special seating because we're so big that we can't fit. I want you to be able to be like, oh my gosh, I can shop at Walmart. I used to wear 5XLs. Still got the shirt up there. I have a 5XL sweatshirt that I used to wear, and it would go all around my belly, and there'd be no room. But I want you to have that non-scale victory of going to Walmart and shopping and getting an extra large or a large, because that's where I'm at. I want you to know that it's possible. 100% possible, but it's going to take some work. But I know that you can do it, and we can do it together. We got this. Take your breather. But the only trick to having a successful weight loss journey is realizing that no one else feeds you but you. You might go out to dinner, but you have the choice to have a healthy option. It's time for a cross ankle tap. We got 1 minute, let's go. You have the choice to get fried chicken tenders and french fries or a grilled chicken salad. You have the choices to eat high fatty foods and high carbohydrated foods or whatever. You have the choice to feed you how you want to. So when you're not getting the results that you want because you're not eating how your body needs you to eat, you can't get mad at anybody but yourself. And then just dust yourself off and realize, all right, I had to be like, okay, Nataushia, eating cheese enchiladas and rice and beans all day long is not going to get you anywhere. And it didn't. I gained weight because I can't eat those carbs. So I had to check myself several times or I would get back to being over 500 pounds. But I don't want that. And I don't want that for you either. Take your breather, catch your breath for a second. But I know that it's hard. I know that it's not fun. I know that you're going to get mad. And you're going to be like, how did you do it? I'll tell you how my first few weeks were. But right now, we're going to pull our left arm across our body. All right, we're going to do our stretches. We're done exercising. We're just going to stretch. But we need our left arm across. But I went from overeating. And what I mean by that is I could sit down and eat 2 Domino's pizzas, cheese sticks, and dessert in one sitting and still want more food, or I would not be satiated, okay? So that was the normal meal for me. Hang on a second. Y'all keep stretching. I got to fix this. All right. Arms down. Oh, crap. Arms down. I'm trying to fix my TikTok. We're about to switch sides. So give me a sec. Oh, it finally fixed. Okay, so we're going to switch back. So we're going to do our right arm and pull it across, okay? So anyways, crap. All right, right arm across our body now. But I was changing how I ate. So I went from overeating to literally going to having a protein shake for breakfast, a protein shake for lunch, and a salad for dinner. My first month, seriously, within my weight loss journey, that's how I ate. And people were like, how did you do that? I was hungry. I was miserable. Arms down. We're going to take our left arm and pull it in behind our head. If you can't do it this way, you're going to lock your hands in front of you and then pull in behind your head to the best of your ability, okay? Well, let's get it. But anyway, I was really hungry. I was miserable. My stomach hurt. Like, I literally wanted to cry. I was so uncomfortable sometimes. That's how hungry I was because my stomach was growling. But what I did is I fought the pain. I would drink more and more water. I would chew on sugar-free popsicles. Let's switch sides. I would chew on sugar-free popsicles to make my mind think that I was eating when I really wasn't because I was trying to trick myself. I would drink on chicken broth, vegetable broth, whatever kind of broth. Let's have our right leg out in front of us, toes facing the sky. But those are the things that I did within the first month. But I also exercised religiously. I was in the gym every week. Let's bring our arms down. We are about to walk our way down our legs. Now, I want you to understand, I've lost enough weight myself. Now I can take it to my toe. You may not be there yet, and that's okay because I know you're going to get there in time. Because I used to not always be where I'm at. It takes time, but I know you're going to achieve that. But what you're going to do is give me what you got. So maybe you're like, Nataushia, all I can do is go to my knee. Give me that right now. And eventually you're going to get to where I'm at. If not, you're going to surpass me, okay? You're going to take it to your heel one day. I don't know. But let's go ahead and stretch it out. But that's what I did for a solid month. Like, my first 2 weeks were the hardest. But I promise, I'm going to let you all know this. The more you create a routine for yourself, the easier it's going to get for you to be able to continue that routine and make that a habit. Because it takes about 2 weeks. Let's come up and switch sides. It takes about 2 weeks, for us to be able to do that. And it's really been a roller coaster of a journey. But I want you to understand it's so worth it. I would do it all over again. Now, there's some things that I would do different. There's some people I would maybe not continue to be around. Let's come up. But that's life. That happens. But ultimately, I would 100% go through all of it again. All of the trials I had to go through, all the hoops I had to jump through to get the whole process in general. Because if you don't know my story, it is pinned to the top of my Facebook page. But it was hard. Like, I literally had to do everything on my own because even though I had gastric sleeve surgery, let's do a breathing exercise, and I'll explain that. But we got spread your legs. We're going to inhale up through our nose, hold our breath here, exhale out down through our mouth. We're going to do 3. You're going to control your breathing. Let's get it. 1, 2, one more. 3. But when I say I had to do everything for myself, I genuinely mean that, because I want to share a little bit about my story for those of you all that maybe don't know, and I don't care because I'm live and that's just what I'm going to do because that's what I feel led to do right now. I don't know who maybe needs this, but I'm going to share it. But anyway, YouTube, I am going to say buenas noches. Hey, Ellen, I just about dropped my laptop. But good night. I love you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow, okay? God bless you guys. But anyways,